Viltrox have sent me through the H18 light. This video is not sponsored by Viltrox. They've just sent me through the light just to take a look at it and use and then just give my feedback. I've been using it on and off the past few weeks. Unfortunately, I've had COVID, so I've been up and down. But this is a really interesting light. I've also let my son use it. He's really enjoying using it because it's a bit like a Star Wars lightsaber. Let's take a look so you can have a look. You get a great little bag, by the way. The way they pack things up and what they give you, it's really good. So yeah, nice little bag. So you've got your instruction manual, and I have to say, we've used this a lot, and I can say that I haven't even opened the instruction manual, so it's really easy to use. It's a piece of cake, to be honest. I use the app with it, so I've also downloaded, well, I've got the Wee Light app anyway, which is Viltrox, which I'm using with the small lights. So you'll see some of my other videos that you can use these lights. So I've grouped them up, same channel. So that's been really useful. Let me just touch the screen. Not using my normal, here we go. This is what a 5D Mark IV looks like when it's really slow. There we go. So yeah, it's really a case of using these lights how you want to, but I always seem to come back to the app. It works fine for me. It's very simple to use. And this particular light is RGB on one side, and it's just really a standard Kelvin range on the other side. I'll show you in a minute. So it looks like it's one light, but it's actually got two sides to it. Let's take a look, see what we've got. So you've got your instructions. Haven't looked at them, but found it pretty easy to use, so no problem. Got the adapter there just for the UK, which is good. They include that. You've got a power supply. So this is actually a battery light, but it's also got the power supply and the charger with it. So that's all in there as well. And there's your mains lead. So yeah, good stuff. This I really like. When I saw it, I thought, you know, this is going to cause accidents because it's so small. But because the light's got a 1/4" thread either end, which I'll show you in a minute, this little tripod has been really useful. I can see me using this little tripod a lot. I think you should sell this separately, Wee Light Viltrox. So yeah, that's a Wee Light one. You're getting confused there. They're just Wee Light is part of Viltrox, I believe. So yeah, not great little tripod, nice and lightweight. I'll be using that a lot. Right, let's get to the light, see what we've got. I've got it switched on. So let's try and switch that off for a start. So on your little app, we'll click it off. There we go. Right. So you've got your control panel on the light, which you know you can turn, you can switch it on and off, you can use all these controls. But as I say, I just find I've always got my phone on me anyway, so I just find it much easier, and it's got a clearer interface just to use the app all the time. But this is fine. You know, you spin the wheel if you haven't got your phone with you. You can set this up so you can swap sides. So we're on one side at the minute. We can swap through to the barn door side, which is that side for me at the moment. So yeah, a nice little panel, very easy to use. And the barn doors are really interesting because when I first got the light, I actually didn't watch the videos on the website. I'll take you there in a minute, by the way. When I finish this part of the video, we'll go and look at the website, and I'll show you what I mean. But the barn doors can actually be swapped around and taken off. So they're pretty straightforward to take off. You just slide them off. As I'm doing that, I'll just pull that off. There you go. So the barn doors come off. And then you've got a very simple light setup then. That's the actual light. And there's a row of LEDs on the one side that are RGB, so you can use it to pick out any color you like. You can use the app. And then the other side, can't remember which, but you spin it round. And the other side is a very simple Kelvin scale. So you can go through all your Kelvin scale. We'll look at the range that when we get on the computer, and I'll show you in a bit. But yeah, it's about, the length is probably about 40 centimeters, 30, must be 45-50 centimeters, I should think. But what you're looking at with this light, if you're thinking why would you use it, to be honest with you, I thought exactly the same. I thought, when am I going to use this? Am I going to use it at weddings? And actually, I might actually take this to weddings and start using it, because it's different. It's with the barn doors, you can create a slither of light, a very narrow beam, or you can use it like this and you can bounce the light off a wall. So yeah, it's 18 watts, so that's a decent amount of light. The build quality is really good. There's a battery built into the handle. And as I said before, you've got your 1/4 inch. See if I can zoom in on that. Oh, well done. It's the 35mm f2, can get nice and close on the 5D Mark IV. Well done. Look at that. So yeah, you've got the spin it round. It's a difficult one to film, I have to say. I didn't know how to do it, but let's just do it anyway. So yeah, you've got your threads on either end, really useful, well built, and this is got a spring to it. So I think, you know, realistically, you're going to drop this at some point, but I think it'll bounce pretty well. So yeah, this has got a sort of sponginess to it, where if you gave it a whack, I think you're still going to be fine. And it's a really solid unit actually. I don't think that's going anywhere. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to go on the computer and show you the specification and bits and pieces. So we'll leave it there and I'll see you on the computer in a sec. So I'm just on the Viltrox store. I'll put a link in the description so that you can come over to this page. It's a really good page, it shows you everything about it, and obviously you can buy it from here as well. So let's just go through it. I've just gone through it under the camera, but it's easier just on the screen. The barn doors are really well designed because you can just slip them straight onto the main light, and you can use it on the full RGB side or the bi-colour side. So let's just scroll down a bit and just talk about that. So on the one side you've got bi-colour, which really means they're mixing light so they can get 2800K to 6800K. If you don't know what that is, that's Kelvin. So if we just work on daylight, is 5000 to 5500K. So a lot of flash guns will be 5500K. So it just means you can match this light up to your existing light sources, or you can actually match it up to flash, which is really useful. I tried that, looked at the colour balance, and I can match it up to my flash guns really well. But the other side of the light is an RGB full colour mode. So that allows you to literally mix anything you like with red, green and blue light. So your monitor screen uses RGB to mix light and can produce a wide range of colours, and that's what you can do with this light source. So it's really useful with the app because you can put it over to that mode and mix whatever you like. But it is also really useful to just have a very simple K value that you can use. I find that really useful because I just work from 5000K with everything I do. So it's got 192 high quality beads, it says there, so that's LEDs really. Let's just scroll down a bit. I mean, you go over and have a look at this, but it's just to give you an idea what I like about it. So there you go, the double-sided 18 watt light. So what can you use it for? So video or stills. I mean, our videographers are going to really love this because you can produce special effects. So built into the app, you've got all different effects that you can use. For me, as I said, the 2800 to 6800K range for photography, I'll be able to use it as a background light, as a rim light. Main light, I will probably have a go with it. The only thing you need to think about as a main light is obviously the catch light in the eyes will be a strip of light. So it's something you want to experiment with, and you'll either love that or you won't. But yeah, I can really see this as a really good background light, rim light, and just special effects really. So let's just move on a little bit. So there you go. So you've got the bi-colour side, which is the bottom one, and the RGB, which is the full colour that you can mix together. So if you're into photography, head for the bi-colour side and just learn about K first of all. That's the app. That's the app that I'm using, the WeLight app. So when you're using the barn doors, this is going to be really interesting to use it, because with a shot like that where you're in profile, you'll be able to get the light very close to your subject. It's something, obviously I've only had this light a few weeks and I want to use it a lot more, so I'll take it to weddings. And I'll probably use this in the evening as well for light painting of brides. So late into the evening when it goes dark, I'll probably use flash, and I'll probably be using it for light painting as well. But the barn doors allowed you to direct the light exactly where you need it and create a very slim light source. You can see up on the left here, he's actually added probably some tin foil or some sort of foil to make a slither of light. And the colour of light, I mean, you're just going to play around with this light. You're going to have a lot of fun. So I think it's for people that are just getting involved with being creative, really. The lighting effects you've got on there, obviously not for photography, but you've got candlelight, flame, TV, firework, police. You'll have to have a go with it to see that. I mean, I use that very rarely, to be honest with you, but I can see if you're a videographer, you can have great fun by creating special effects on backgrounds and the colour. So you can mix the colour. That's going to be really good. So there's the app again. I mean, they really are pushing the app, but I can see why, because it really does make these lights. It's what we've always wanted, really. It's just a very simple system for changing the colour and brightening and darkening, so we can just dim these lights really easy. And again, still life and product photography, with the small lights, I just positioned 4 small tiny little lights around a product, but I can see being able to put a wash of a background so that you'll be able to put it in the background and, you know, really do some interesting stuff with the foreground colours and the background. You can see somebody's done that there. There's your 1/4 inch threads either end. Again, that's them thinking, because we'll want to use them on tripods, but the hand grip works really well. If you've got an assistant, they can hold them. So yeah, I mean, all round, you know, they've produced something that we've wanted for a long time. There is another brand that is extremely expensive. I know a wedding photographer invented one of these probably about 7 years ago, but the cost, you know, is too high. About, you know, £86 it's there for a minute. I mean, you might get it for a better price if you click on the link in the description. I don't know, just going over and have a look. I think that's well worth it for what you're getting. You could do a lot with just one light. Obviously a single light and then a background light you can do a lot more with, so maybe it's worth picking 2 up. But yeah, very useful page. Go and take a look. It's got everything about the light and that's all the specs. And you can see the CRI 95. That just means it's colour accurate. And I've found that I've done some test shots with it, as I say, against flash, looking at what the colour's doing. All looks fine. And that's what you're getting in the box. I went through that, but you get a great little carry case, barn doors, your main light, tripod, power supply, user manual. Just a very nice little kit and very good value for money, I think, really. Okay, we'll leave it there today. Go into the description, go over to this page and take a look. It might be something that interests you. Combine it with some of their small lights. Look at my videos. I'll put some links to some of the other videos I've done about WeLights. And thank you WeLight for sending them through. I've got a few different lights I'm using now. They're all used in this studio, using for lots of different things. Okay, we'll leave it there today. Thanks a lot. See you again.